All right, so let's dive right in. Today we're talking about something that I know drives a lot of homeowners crazy, especially here in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Those black streaks you see on roofs.
Yeah,
Like, what is that stuff? And I know some people think it's just dirt, but it's actually a lot more interesting than that.
it is.
It's a living organism called Gloeocapsa Magma, and it's actually setting up shop right there on your shingles.
It's true.
So we're going to take a deep dive today into what it is,
All right.
why it thrives here in Northeast Ohio, and most importantly, how to get rid of it.
Sounds good.
So first things first, what exactly is Gloeocapsa magma?
Well, it's a type of cyanobacteria, which is a blue-green algae.
Okay.
And like plants, it needs sunlight to make energy, but get this, it actually prefers those shady areas
Really?
because they tend to hold moisture longer.
Ah, okay, so like the north side of a roof where it doesn't get as much sun.
Exactly.
That's so interesting. And it makes sense, especially here in Northeast Ohio where we have a lot of humidity.
Yeah, a lot of rain.
So it's basically a perfect breeding ground for this stuff.
It is. And you know what else is crazy?
What?
These bacteria, they have a particular appetite for limestone.
Limestone.
Yeah, which is often found in asphalt shingles.
Oh no, so it's not just kind of hanging out there, it's actually eating away at my roof.
You got it.
Oh.
It's essentially feeding on your shingles.
So it's more than just an eyesore then, right? This is actually causing damage.
Yeah, definitely more than just an aesthetic issue. We're talking about shingle damage, potentially a shorter lifespan for your roof, and believe it or not, even increased energy costs.
Really? How does that work?
Well, think about it. Those dark streaks, they absorb more heat from the sun,
Oh.
which means your house gets warmer and your AC has to work harder.
So higher energy bills on top of everything else.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it gets even worse.
No, what else?
Once Gloeocapsa magma has weakened your shingles, it actually makes it easier for other things to take hold, like moss and lichen.
Oh, I've definitely seen that on some roofs around my neighborhood.
Yeah, they love those damp, shady areas too, and they can really accelerate the damage.
So it's like a domino effect. One problem leads to another, and suddenly you've got a much bigger issue on your hands.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to catch it early. The sooner you address those black streaks, the better.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do about it? I've seen a bunch of DIY solutions advertised like bleach mixtures and roof coatings. Do any of those actually work?
You know, a lot of people try those DIY methods, but honestly, they're rarely effective in the long run.
Oh, really? Why not?
Well, it's kind of putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. You might cover up the problem temporarily,
Right.
but you're not really addressing the root cause.
Okay, that makes sense. So what about pressure washing? It seems like that would blast those streaks right off.
I know it seems like a good idea, but actually, high-pressure water can damage your shingles.
Oh, wow.
It can strip away the protective granules and lead to faster deterioration.
So it's actually making the problem worse in the long run.
It can, yeah. And what about just waiting it out, hoping it'll go away on its own?
Yeah, like maybe it'll just magically disappear.
I wish it were that easy. Unfortunately, that's not a good strategy either.
Okay, so we've ruled out the quick fixes. What's the best way to actually tackle this Gloeocapsa magma situation?
The most effective solution is professional soft washing.
Soft washing. What is that?
So it's a gentle cleaning process that uses special solutions to kill the bacteria at its root.
Ah, okay, so it's not just cleaning the surface, it's actually getting rid of the problem.
Exactly. And it's safe for your shingles and the environment.
Okay, that sounds promising. So soft washing sounds like the way to go. But before we dive into that, I'm curious about those zinc strips I've seen advertised. Do they actually help with this?
You know, zinc strips can be part of a good prevention strategy.
Okay.
They release zinc ions as rainwater flows over them.
Okay.
And those ions can help inhibit the growth of algae and moss, including our friend Gloeocapsa magma.
So it's not a guaranteed solution, but it's like an added layer of defense.
Exactly. It's like giving your roof a fighting chance. And when combined with regular professional soft washing, you're setting your roof up for long-term health and protection.
Gotcha. So we've got a good overview of the problem, the risks of ignoring it, and a glimpse into the solution. But now I want to unpack soft washing a little bit more.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
There's a lot to learn about this effective and increasingly popular solution.
Okay, so we're talking soft washing. That's the best way to get rid of this Gloeocapsa magma.
It is.
But walk me through it. What actually happens when you get your roof soft washed?
Sure. So first things first, you want to find a good professional, A reputable company that specializes in soft washing.
Okay, makes sense.
And they'll come out, they'll assess your roof, see how bad the Gloeocapsa Magma is, figure out what's going on.
So it's not just like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
No, not at all. Every roof is different.
Oh, okay.
Different types of shingles, how much growth there is, even the landscaping around your house, all that plays a role.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them spraying a bunch of harsh chemicals all over my plants.
Exactly. A good soft washing professional is going to use environmentally friendly solutions that are safe for your plants and your property.
Okay, so they come out, they assess everything, they pick the right solution, and then what? Like, how does the actual cleaning happen?
All right, so they use this low-pressure sprayer to apply the solution to your roof.
So no, like, power washing craziness going
No,
on?
no high pressure here. That's the key difference.
Gotcha.
Soft washing is all about gentle application, letting the solution do its work.
Okay.
It penetrates those Gloeocapsa magma colonies and kills them at the root.
So it's really getting rid of the problem, not just masking it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because the solution is specifically designed for Gloeocapsa magma, it's not going to harm your shingles or anything else.
All right, so effective, safe, environmentally friendly. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So they spray it on, and then what? Do they just let it sit?
Pretty much. They might give it a light rinse,
Okay.
but the solution is designed to keep working even after it's applied.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it breaks down the Gloeocapsa magma over time, and then any residue that's left will just wash away naturally with the rain.
So no scrubbing, no scraping, nothing like that.
Nope. The solution does all the work.
Sounds pretty easy. And about how long does the whole process usually take?
Well, it depends on the size of your roof and, how bad the infestation is.
Right.
But most treatments can be done in a few hours.
Okay, so not a huge disruption.
Not at all.
Now let's talk cost.
Hmm.
Is this something that's going to break the bank?
It's definitely an investment, but it's more affordable than you might think.
Okay, can you give us a ballpark? Like, what are we talking here?
In Northeast Ohio, you're probably looking at somewhere between $400 to $800 for a typical residential roof.
Okay, so not cheap, but not a second mortgage either.
Right, exactly.
And I guess when you consider the cost of replacing your roof prematurely, if you ignore the problem, it's probably worth it.
Oh, absolutely. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right?
Right. So we've established soft washing is the way to go. But how often should homeowners be doing this? Like, is this an every year kind of thing?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
And it really depends, where you live, how much shade your roof gets, the condition of your shingles.
Okay.
But in general, I'd say every 2 to 3 years is a good rule of thumb.
Okay, so not every year, but something to keep in mind.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And, between those professional cleanings, there are things you could do yourself to help prevent the Gloeocapsa magma from growing back.
Oh, like what? Give me all the secrets.
Well, first of all, keep those gutters clean.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Clogged gutters trap moisture, and that's exactly what this bacteria loves.
Right.
So make sure that water can flow freely.
Got it. What else?
Trim back any tree branches that are hanging over your roof.
Ah, okay. So more sunlight can hit the roof and keep things dry.
Exactly. Sunlight is your friend in this battle.
Yeah.
And those zinc strips we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Those could be a great preventative measure too.
Yeah. So it's kind of a multi-pronged approach. Keep things clean, let the sunlight in, and add those zinc strips for extra protection.
You got it. And of course, just keep an eye on your roof. If you see any black streaks or any discoloration, call a professional sooner rather than later.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, I want to touch on something that's important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of homeowners, sustainability.
Yeah.
So we're talking about cleaning solutions, potential environmental impact. What can you tell us about how eco-friendly professional soft washing is?
That's a great question, and it's something that more and more people are thinking about. The good news is professional soft washing can be very eco-friendly.
Okay, good.
Just make sure you choose a company that uses biodegradable, environmentally safe solutions.
So do your research find a company that's committed to sustainability?
Exactly.
What else should homeowners be looking for when they're trying to find a good soft washing company?
Well, first of all, make sure they're licensed and insured. That's really important. It protects you in case anything goes wrong.
Right, yeah. You don't want any surprises.
And ask about their experience. Specifically with Gloeocapsa magma removal, you want someone who knows what they're doing.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask for references or check online reviews. See what other people are saying.
That's great advice.
Hmm.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about what Gloeocapsa magma is, why it's a problem, the best way to get rid of it, and even how to prevent it. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just this. Your roof is one of the most important parts of your house. Don't let a little bacteria like Gloeocapsa Magma ruin it.
Well said. And remember, folks, prevention is key. Keep those gutters clean, trim those branches, and schedule those soft washing appointments. Your roof will thank you. Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
all about those black streaks on your roof.
Yeah, those pesky little
Who
streaks.
knew it was so much more than just dirt?
Right. It's amazing what you find when you start digging a little deeper.
Yeah, and that's what we're all about here, right?
Absolutely. Curiosity is key.
So let's do a quick recap for our listeners just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, that was
Right.
good.
First things first, those black streaks are actually a type of bacteria.
Right? Gloeocapsa Magma.
It's not just sitting there, it's actually eating away at your roof.
Yeah, literally feeding on those shingles.
And if you ignore it, it can lead to all sorts of problems.
Oh yeah, big problems. Shingle damage, moss growth, even higher energy bills.
Not to mention it just makes your house look kind of, well, neglected.
You know, it's funny how something so small can have such a big impact on your curb appeal.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But the good news is we know how to get rid of it.
We do. Professional soft washing is the way to go.
It's effective, it's safe for your roof and the environment, and it'll give you peace of mind knowing that you're tackling the problem head on.
Exactly. And remember, finding the right professional is important.
Yes. Do your research, ask for references, make sure they're using environmentally friendly solutions.
It's worth it to take the time and find a company that you trust.
And once you've gotten rid of the Gloeocapsa magma, there are things you can do to prevent it from coming back.
Absolutely. Prevention is key.
Keep those gutters clean, trim back any overhanging branches, and maybe even consider those zinc strips we talked about.
All great tips. And, just being aware of the problem is half the battle.
So true. So if you see those black streaks starting to appear, don't wait. Take action.
You'll be glad you did.
It's been fascinating exploring this topic in depth,
I agree.
but it's more than just about those black streaks, right?
Right. It's about understanding our homes better.
It's about being curious, asking questions, and taking the time to learn about the things that might seem small but can actually have a big impact.
Exactly. It's about empowering ourselves to be better homeowners.
And on that note, I think we're going to wrap things up.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Gloeocapsa magma.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned something new and maybe even feel a little more inspired to tackle those home maintenance challenges.
Until next time, stay curious.
And remember, a little knowledge can go a long way.